What's going on, guys, and welcome to episode number 15. The almost final episode of the R3 series. Not because I'm extending the series, but I'm deciding to make this entire week all about the R3. I did the same thing back when we finished up the Ruckus. I kind of had like a final episode, and then we did a whole week of episodes almost, finishing up on the Ruckus. And that's when Ryan flew out here the first time. By the way, how you guys doing? I feel like I didn't even say hello. If you're new here, I'm Motonosity. This is the Build Series 3, and in Season 3, we are working on a 2015 Yamaha R3, taking it from bone stock, making it an awesome bike, and this one is a street fighter. We're finally gonna get working on the kit that we got from Black Labs Motorcycles. They make awesome kits. I know some of you guys out there are saying, a street fighter kit? A kit for a street fighter? I thought this is supposed to be some hacked up motorcycle where you customize everything. You can do that, or you can do something like getting the kits from Black Lab Motorcycles. Seriously, let me paint a picture for you. Josh, the founder of Black Lab Motorcycles, he does a custom street fighter on a new bike. Then he starts making that kit into something that everyone else can buy. So essentially, you got yourself a custom street fighter, and that's what we're doing for the R3. I think there's not that many people that have the kit that he makes for the R3 yet. So while it may not be completely custom by me, it's pretty darn unique, and no other R3 out there is gonna look quite like the one that we've got going on. By the way, I apologize if it's a little bit echoey. Yeah, I'm living the bachelor life, not indefinitely, just just for the short term. Abby went out of town with two of the dogs. She went out with Lacey and Sierra and Aylin, the baby, and it's bro week out here with me and Jackson. This is, if you're new, you probably don't know Jackson. Hi, Jackson. Thank you. Oh, you're so nice. Appreciate it, bud. This is Jackson. He's the youngest husky that we have. And we have two more huskies. Abby took them, and she's gonna be back probably, I think she's back in a week. I'm here holding down the fort because we got some stuff going on here, and I needed to work on the bikes, and it's gonna be an R3 week. So here's what we got going on. Here is my shop, if you guys are unfamiliar with it, my shop being my garage. Welcome. Can I widen this up for you guys so you can see everything? Ooh, look at that. This is the 2015 Yamaha R3 that we're working on, and this is almost done. There are only a few things left to do. Last week on the previous episode, we took care of all of the little things that we had left. Took care of the kill switch, the radiator guard, the coolant overflow, the tank, put the tank back on, did the fuel cap, fixed the clutch pull lever, did all the fluids, put the fluids caps, adjusted the chain, and started the bike for the first time. So if you want to see the first startup, go ahead and hit that link down in the description. I'll also put a playlist link, so if you missed any of the previous episodes, you can check all of those out, or any of the ones that are going to come out after this, which are just the ones this week. And they're not really episodes. It's more of like, let's work on the bike every day. Today, it's gonna be paint. And I told you guys that we were gonna be painting this thing to be a little bit different than the standard kit that you get from Black Lab Motorcycles. What I originally planned on doing was just like going to some like auto body paint shop or collision shop or anything like that, and just taking some of the pieces and getting them painted there. But you guys know that when I can, I like to do the work myself. So I spent like the last, not this past week, but before the last episode, researching everything I could about painting yourself. And what I found is that with the right supplies, you can do a rattle can paint job that rivals a professional paint job. Now, since I am just doing this on a few pieces, I'm not doing it on an entire car, there's not a bunch of really large panels. And since it's not a whole lot, they're smaller pieces, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna try this out myself. If it goes completely wrong, I'll just take it to a shop, get it redone, and we'll call it good. But this will kind of give me the chance to learn stuff on my own. What is that? Ooh, FC07. So let me show you guys what we're working with. By the way, if you're interested in any of the parts that I'm going to show, all of those will be linked down in the description so you guys can check them out if you want to do any of this yourself. So from the left, starting off, we got our grease and wax remover. Then we've got our 2K primer, and all this stuff that I'm going to be using, it's not just cheap stuff that you can get from the store. This is all professional grade products. So we got our 2K primer. Then we have our urethane based paint. This is a taffeta white. I believe that's a Toyota color, if I'm not mistaken. Toyota or Honda? Can't remember which.
So we've got our paint, and then we've got our 2K clear coat, and this is a matte clear coat.
I took a poll over on Patreon from the supporters, and we decided that we were gonna do matte. By the way, if you haven't checked out the Patreon page, make sure you check that out, link down in the description. We are giving this bike away, so head over there to check that out. Now for our other supplies. Here we've got a couple different selection of sandpaper. We got 400 grit and 1500 grit. Then we have some tack cloth and a foam sanding block, and then auto body grade scuff pad. So I'll outline my whole method down in the description that I'm gonna be using in this video. For the most part, I'm just gonna be working on this, see how it goes. Hope you guys enjoy it, and let's get started. So all of these pieces are ready to go. What I did right then was sanding down the stock pieces, the tank pieces, since those were painted and clear coated. So I got those sanded down, and then what I did for all of them was use the scuff pad to go over all the edges and all the surfaces of every single piece. So now those are all kind of scuffed up. Just ran to Walmart, picked up a drop cloth because I didn't have one. I thought I did. I'm gonna set this up outside. Not ideal, of course. When you're painting, you want to have an actual paint booth so you can eliminate any contaminants, any dust, any bugs, any dirt, anything that could be in the air. It's not windy at all, so I don't think I'll have much of an issue. Gonna get this set up outside right against my garage since we got the sun there. It's nice and clean out here. And then once I get that set up, I'm going to use the prep spray that I got right here, the grease and wax remover, with some gloves on so we don't get any of my oils from my hands on there, and we get all the dust and stuff that we have on there. I rinsed it all off. I just wanted to let it dry. And then after that, use the tack cloth and then start spraying the primer. I left you there. 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 Alright, so after the third coat of primer, I left it dry out there for an hour, and let's go see how it looks.
Looking good. I'm just looking to see if it got even over everything. Looks like I did a pretty fantastic job here, folks.
So what I'm gonna do now is I got a few different grits, sandpaper. Ideally, I would have a 600 grit as well, but they were out of stock and I forgot to pick some up. So we're gonna make do with what we have. I've got 400, I believe, 400 grit sandpaper, wet or dry 3M, super fine. And then I've also got the 1500. I'll do the 400 and then I'll do the 1500. Smooth it out, get any imperfections with the spray or anything that happened to settle on there. I didn't see anything. Looking at that, I don't think there was anything. And then from what I've read, or the videos that I've watched, we wanna clean it off with a water-based cleaner, tack cloth, and then start going on with the base coat.
I woke up early on my born day. 20 is a blessing. The essence of adolescence leaves my body now freshened. My physical frame is celebrated because I made it. Recorded through life, some godly like thing created. Got rhymes 365 days.
I just finished cleaning off all of the pieces after sanding them down after a second set of primer layers. So I did the 3 coats of primer, and then I sanded it down with the 400 grit, but it was a little bit too thin in a few places. So I cleaned that off, didn't like sand everything off, but I cleaned them off and I did 2 more coats of primer, just a little bit heavier. And then I sanded them with the 1500 grit and then cleaned them off again, and it is perfect right now. So it's super smooth, now it's ready for the final, or not final, but now it's ready for the base coat, which is the white that we're gonna be putting on. Let me show you what they look like.
These are all sanded down with the 1500. Maybe you can see a little bit better here. Anyways, they're super smooth. Everything is ready to go.
Here is the base coat. Now this is a urethane based coat, which is what you need for the primer and the clear coat that I have. You gotta have a urethane based base coat. High quality from what I've found. We'll be putting this on. I'm gonna do it the same way, if I'm not mistaken, as the primer. We're gonna do 3 coats, and then after that, move on to the clear coat.
Now it's all about cash in abundance. Niggas I used to run with is rich, doing years in the hundreds. I switched my motto. Instead of saying fuck tomorrow, that buck that bought a bottle could have struck the lotto. Once I stood on the block, loose cracks, produced stacks. I cooked up and cut small pieces to get my loot back. Time is illmatic, keep static like wool fabric. Pack a 4matic to crack your whole cabbage.
All right, guys. So the base coat is complete. By the way, here's Jackson. What's up, buddy? Did all the coats. I ended up doing like 5 or 6 coats. I was expecting to do 3 or 4. I think because the wind really picked up, it wasn't laying on as much paint as I would with just a normal coat, but it looks freaking awesome. Good morning, guys. So I finished up the painting last night. I didn't film me doing the clear coat because I was just freaking recording the same shots over and over. It's hard to do because I wanted to protect my camera. I let it dry for about an hour outside, and then I brought it inside, and it's been in here overnight. The cure time is 18 hours. So I still got 12 hours of dry time. So let me show you how it looks.
Early on my born day, I'm 20 is a blessing. The essence of adolescence leaves my body now freshened. My physical frame is celebrated because I made it. Recorded through life, some godly like thing created. Got rhymes 365 days annual plus some.
So I know it's probably kind of hard to see. Get it in the light here a little bit, and you guys can see the angles on it. I'm just so happy with how that turned out. It looks so freaking good. So I'll link all the stuff that I use down in the description, along with a little summary of the method that I use for all of this. Seriously, I'm super happy with this. For the first time that I've ever actually tried painting stuff like this. Obviously, I'm not a professional. It's not using professional tools, but it is about as professional as you can get with spray paint. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know I mentioned in the beginning, I said episode 15. I'm making this episode 14 and a half, but you guys have another episode coming out tomorrow that will be like the actual episode number 15 that I was planning on. I will see you guys tomorrow with the install of the kit and finishing up all the stuff on the bike, hopefully. Check out the playlist link down in the description and links to all the stuff that I used today. Remember, life's better with horsepower. Keep life lived, and I will see you guys tomorrow.